Do what's best for you. Like for instance, we go out and have conversations with people. We're trying to gather 4 or 5 needs that are heartfelt, not just some needs, heartfelt needs. When we're talking to someone, and we may, that first meeting may just be a casual conversation, because that's what we do with people. We just have conversations with people. And then once we have that conversation, then we're discovering what that need is. We're taking notes. And when we get through those notes, it may not be that time, may not be that particular meeting to talk about anything. It may just be gathering, so that tomorrow I can call back and say, John, listen, yesterday you told me about this, whatever those heartfelt needs were. If there was a way that I could meet that need, could I come back and tell you more about that? There's always ways to open those doors. Sometimes somebody you'll be talking to someone and they'll be talking about, when I talk about Nikken this morning, they're just saying, I just don't have any money. And so I come back, what we say back to them is, well, is that temporary or permanent? If it's temporary, I can fix that. If it's permanent and you don't want to change it, or you don't want any effort in changing it, I really can't help you with that. But if it's just temporary, we can make that change and fix that for you. Success doesn't come just, I read that wrong.
Go get it.
That's what she said. We did this book. The reason we did this is because we were not doing things right. We didn't know it at the time, but we weren't doing things right. And so this thing was based on the information that we had at the time. And it worked sort of, but it wasn't building a giant organization. Our dream was not to make an extra $100, $500, or $1,000 a month. Our dream is to build this massive organization, because we really want to help a lot of people. And we can't do it just with a little income. Both of them are replaced 2 full-time incomes. Sometimes we do things the hard way. That's what that horse is doing over there. But what we do is, we always use that money if there or our way, because we're getting permission is what we're doing to take it to the next step. So what we did was, we got mentors. We looked at an organization all the way up and brought us into the business. They've been best friends for 30 years. They're awesome people. They're great people. And all the people above us are wonderful too. In fact, I think Susan and Jim are here. There they are. That's our background over the business right there. And when we were out of town for a 26-day trip, we took our entire team and we set them down and said, okay, we're going to be out of pocket for 1 week on a cruise ship. We can't be in contact with you. So what we did was, because we knew we had an entrapment, 21 clubs and that kind of thing. So what we did was, we made sure everybody had at least 10 numbers in their phones of people they could call to get that information, so they weren't just left in limbo. Well, Susan and Jim stepped up big time while we were out of town, and they fielded a lot of those calls, which was so amazing. We appreciate them so much. Everybody about this, though, really is in the product model of Nikken, which works for some people, but it's moving too slow for us. We need to do things in a fast, rapid way, because we have found that momentum is what builds a business successfully fast. And so, to get that momentum, we had to find somebody that had done it, built a massive organization, and they were still doing it. And so we looked as high as we could look, and we found Matt McDonald and Pat Terry. And we called them and we said, we need your help, because you've done what we are and still doing, what our goal is doing, so we need your help. And they agreed. That what they did, they put us through a series of tests. They said, sure, we'll do that, you do this, we'll do this. And they wanted to see if we were even coachable. If you talk to them today, they would tell you that we're highly coachable, because when they tell us to jump, we don't even ask how far, how deep the canyon is, how wide the gap is, we just do it. And we don't even question it. And so that's why we feel like we move fast, because we are so coachable. That book helped us to duplicate our group, because it gave all the steps that they were teaching us, we were putting in that. And I recently did use that so that they can have something as a security blanket in their hand to be able to give them those tools that we didn't have any of those tools, and they didn't have them either, so we want to make sure they have them in their hand. That's the purpose of that whole process right there. Just a tool.
Yeah, one thing there, that's kind of the teacher in us again, because the Nikken plan is in there, exactly what Rick said, and it's also, the Nikken plan is on my iPad. You're going to reach the people according to what their need is. If someone is on a flip chart and they're an older person, I'm going to have something that they can kind of look at a picture and see something. If it's a young kid, I'm going to send them a link on the iPhone. Think of your audience and what you're, when you're showing this, so that you are responding to how they're going to view it in the best way for that. The syllabus is what we call the workbook, and it's basically, sounds kind of like, I'm not sure because I don't know this yet, but what Ben is doing now, it's going to be out there where everybody can see it. This is what we were doing book-wise, basically, beforehand, because we were like, we're building places in different, around, different states and things, but we didn't have a way to get there all the time. So that was the purpose of doing that. So that syllabus and the book's there. I see some of you have it, and please give us feedback on that. But that's the thing that we saw that we were able to move in motion quickly, give them a step-by-step. Once they signed up in the business, that is when your work actually begins. That's when you want to go with them and go alongside them and not leave them out there outside the boat. Bring them in, and you're with them and you're walking them.
When you're a consumer, you buy something that's a purchase, money out of your pocket. When you do something as a business builder, as a business person, you're investing money in something with the expectation of return on that investment plus profit. And so we have a page in there called ROI, return on investment. What we do is we show someone, because we have sit down with them and found out what their goals are, where they want to go in their business career. If somebody says, I only need an extra $500 a month, they can probably do that on their own. If somebody's wanting to really build a business and build a structure, they need some more help, which we'll draw out of it on here. We'll show you how to do that. But the point is that as people start to build, and they say, well, I want to make X dollars, we ask them, okay, we ask that question, how much money do you need to make in what given period of time? And so we start drawing it out so they can see how it takes. So we have, that return on investment is important because what we do is we take the chart in here shows how somebody buys a $10 home, let's say it's $3,500. We can show how they can get that return on investment back in 30 days. We draw it out. If they do it, we show them how to do. And that's what the important part is. We were on a conference call yesterday morning with Israel and the UK. Israel and the UK about 21 clubs, because they were confused how to do the 21 clubs. So we were talking that out. So Pam's going to show us.
Just real quickly, we got a couple minutes left. This is a sample of a whiteboard. Y'all heard us talk about these before, so we actually brought one from home so you can see it. One area of our home has tons of these, so you can do it vertical or the other way. When you start at 21 Club, of course, we've got the forms in our back office that you're going to download and use. But what we do is we'll start by number 30. Because we get 30 names instead of 21. We're just shooting above on everything we do, right? So 30, 29, 28, head on down so that you're actually getting the numbers on the board. Then what is the volume that everybody knows that we need for the 21 Club? What is it? 6,000, so that's up here. And so then those three seniors are going to be what? 1,500 each. So then we take it off so that the person that we're teaching and training and bringing in, we want them to visually see how this works. Over here, we're getting in front of those people on those three-way calls. So visually, they need to see something. It's one thing to hear it, but it's another thing to see it. So let the pictures work for you. So that's one of the things we would suggest that you get with the whiteboard.
And the same thing with silver. Somebody's on a silver run. We don't like doing silvers in 3 months. We like doing it in 30 days. But you can have, if you have a silver run, you can have that. We have 12,000, what it takes. So let's say they bought $2,000 worth when they signed up. That's at least $10,000 they got to get. That means there's 4,500 basically with the 3 seniors that have to come in. And so you subtract that. We show them how you just walk that backwards. And when you do it backwards like that, it's so much easier for them to see, and it's less money needed to make that goal. And it's so much more encouraging when they see how you back that out and make that happen so quick.
So we would just encourage you. The 21 Club is one of the tools that we use. People say, how are you moving quickly? We did back-to-back 21 Clubs. We did the 3, so we got the Paragon. You might as well let the tools that the company has work for you. And then also the, that's one of the things that's in there. We probably Everyone wants to be successful, so they see what it takes. That picture really spoke to us, especially being in the arts. So it does take work. It is something that you're going to have to go through. We want to recognize three of our
We have three. Can you stand up just for a second? People that are here. We have a lot of people out of town that there's some. You guys are. You guys are here. And we have two brand new silvers here. They're showing up. Rick's wife, Sherry, had shoulder surgery, and while she cannot, when they signed up, she had shoulder for rotator cuff surgery, and so she signed up. She had the surgery. She went to bed with her cell phone, made silver in 30 days with her cell phone, sending videos on her cell phone. One of the things we use, these boards we have a bunch of these boards, and we draw everybody to work with their plan on this so they can physically see it.